We got our first couple looks. Russell Westbrook in Houston alongside James Harden. Let's take a look, some of the preseason footage to see how, if any, Houston has changed, Russ has changed, Harden has changed. Let's analyze the film, see what we have. Make sure you follow again on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere, at ScoutWithBryan with a Y. And let's see what we've got. First of all, biggest thing that stuck out, the Rockets, believe it or not, I think are doubling down even more. Russ took 11 threes in this game. They're giving him the green light when defenders back off. It seems like the main thing they want, though, is any of these shots that he took in this area to mostly be now behind the three. They're saying if he shoots 30, 33, whatever percent from three, they can live with that. They get some offensive rebounds out of it. He gets some fouls like he does here. They're willing to live with him taking open threes, like the defense likely is. But you know what? Russ shot looked okay. When he has in rhythm shots like this, where he's not having to dribble a million times, a little uphill action where Capella gives him a little handoff for Russ to dribble right into it, some of his shots looked pretty good. Some of them didn't. But again, Houston is just going to play their way. There was no elaborate motion offense, no huge D'Antoni scheme changes. They pretty much are going to play their same 4 or 5 out, depending on if Tucker's in the game. And Russ has the green light, like I said. Sometimes it doesn't work out well. Here we see a little delay action. This has been something that they've ran for a while. 21 delay out of their 21 type set. It's a split action on the side. Russ gets a back pick. Toronto's going to switch it. So they switch on Eric Gordon right here. And then Gordon's going to back cut out of there, which leads to a good dribble handoff action for Harden right here. And if he's able to have, again, right off this dribble handoff, just taking one dribble, stopping behind the screen when the defense goes under, again, he shoots the ball pretty well. I think they're just going to try to get him to take more efficient threes. Ones like this, again, with less dribbling, where Harden seems to, again, shoot the ball pretty well. Again, pistol, 21 action here. The step up. Tucker's the trail big. Plays a little two-man game with Westbrook. Quick pitch back. Again, defense off. It seems like they're willing to let Russ take those threes. Pistol again here. You're going to have to live with some of these misses. And when Russ misses these late in a playoff game, all the detractors are going to say the same thing about how inefficient he is and a shot selection and all those things. But again, the math says the 32, 33% threes, pretty much the break-even point for it being a pretty good shot. Houston, I think, is, like I said, sticking with their strategy, threes, rim, free throws, doubling down even more. The other thing that we know Russ is going to give them is letting them push the pace a little bit more even. We see here on this clip, when Harden gets jammed a little bit in the backcourt last season, he didn't have many other guys to throw the ball to. He kind of just had to slow it down. That's what really caused their pace to slow. But D'Antoni, over his history, really likes playing fast. We know he's a 7 seconds or less guy. You see Harden here hit ahead to Russ. His man, Van Fleet, got caught up trying to get a steal in the backcourt right here. So now Westbrook's got a step and is able to go at the big at the rim and finish. That's when he's obviously at his best, attacking the basket like he does here. Again, this is Houston style. Like I said, you see the 5 out. Again, nothing complicated. Tucker's in the game. They're just going to have 4 shooters in their spots. Rely on Russ or Harden to beat their man one-on-one. And once they do, they get to the rim. If help comes, they kick it out for shooters. This was an after timeout play that didn't really work. Don't know exactly what they were going for. Ended up being another Russ ISO. And again, you see just the ability in this 5-out space system. He's going to have so much more room than he did consistently in Oklahoma City with Adams, with other non-shooters on the floor, with inconsistent shooting 4s at times. Now he's got a whole lot of space. When you see this much space, we know there's nobody right here that can come and help and take this away. Otherwise, you're giving up Eric Gordon a corner 3, Gerald Green a corner 3. The guy that has to come eventually is right here. He's a little bit late, though, as Harden beats his man, so he's able to absorb the contact and finish at the basket. That's the other schematic change difference you'll notice with Russ. Last season, I think this would have been a mid-range pull-up right here a lot. I think this is the shot they're going to try to get out of his game as much as possible. Against the bigs that play way back in the pick and roll, Russ in years past would settle right about here and rise up for the shot. That's what Oklahoma City lived with. Houston really doesn't like those shots, so it seems like they're either going to try to have him keep probing and hit the roll, kick it back out, let somebody else make a play. Doesn't seem like they're letting him take dribble pull-ups off pick and rolls. Here's an action. They run a lot for Harden. Looks like it's going to be some sort of back pick right here, like in the delay clip we watched earlier, but instead this man's going to swing around and set a pin down to bring Russ into the handoff. Gasol does a good job recognizing here, switching onto him. And then again, Russ last season with the big off right here, when he has 5 feet of space, he's pulling up. Now instead he backs it off, and this is where the scheme really changes. Again, they've got shooters outside. Tucker this time is in the dunker spot. Russ is able to get by Gasol. Help comes in. And now this is where you're just counting on his passing ability. Like Harden, has the ability to hang in the air, read the help. You've got 2 shooters on the backside with only 1 guy helping. Russ hangs in the air, kicks to Rivers. They rotate, end up getting 2 flying at the ball, flying at Eric Gordon, get a wide open corner 3 for Austin Rivers. Pistol action again, the step up. The one area they will live with him taking kind of mid-range, it seems like, is post-ups. I saw in the other game too as well. They run some of this 21 stuff, and they're fine with Russ backing down to the post. That's a lot of his game, his whole career in Oklahoma City. Pretty good post player. I do like that they're going to add a little more versatility and letting him still take those shots and still play post-up basketball a little bit out of pistol. Otherwise, we know, like I said, Houston's still the same. They're not making any whole-scale changes to the scheme. They're still, even if you come back up and have a wide-open mid-range jumper, they're going to back it all the way up to the 3. I think they're going to shoot even more 3s next season, keep playing their same way. I think you'll see them try this a little bit out of the 21 set. We've seen them a couple times try to get this back door. This used to be a D'Antoni staple, especially in New York, where this shooter in the corner would just look like they're playing 21, playing that pistol action, and instead get that back cut. They used to get a layup a game off of that. Timing just a little bit off on that one. They'll get it down. They're still going to play mismatch hunting, get the best matchup for Harden, especially when Russ is out of the game. He's still going to take all these step backs. Basketball purists are still going to say it's disgusting, it's gross, but you know what? He's going to make enough of them for, again, it to be the right play schematically. Russ, when he's off the ball, is going to do things like this. He's unselfish, despite what people say. Harden, you see here, is going to do a great job with Capella in the dunker. Again, attacking space, help has to come in. Gordon's man rotates to Russ. Russ does a great job making the extra pass. Very unselfish to find Gordon for the 3. The other area Russ can really exploit, again, with this much space on the floor now. He's going to love, again, not playing with a big, always clogging up the paint, clogging up the block. Now we got 5 out, so now when he catches, now when he has a defender, even closing out short to him or not really respecting his shot, one thing you can always do, catch and go. He has great footwork on this. Catch, put it down right away, get to the basket. Again, you see another catch and go there. Slow rotating defense in transition. A little slow getting matched up. Poor closeout, get by him. And then this was something we saw a lot last season, especially when Harden would be tired towards the end. Kind of a shift here. Teams almost play 4-on-4. His man's not really helping any. But you know what? 4-on-4, Russ is going to kill in those situations. Because with this much space on the floor, there's no way, nobody really that can keep him completely in front 1-on-1. And when you have a second defender have to step up, Biggs in the dunker, opens up the lob. Always open. Another thing Russ is going to do, obviously, is play with a lot of pace. Again, you see their system here. This time we got backup big, Chandler in the game, so he's not a shooter. He's going to run to the rim. The other 3 are all going to be spaced outside the 3. Russ puts so much pressure on the defense. Like a guy like Giannis, like LeBron in transition, you see secondary defenders having to come in, stop the ball. All these bodies in the paint leads to the kick out, leads to wide open shots for his teammates. Russ is going to thrive making those passes in Houston. You see another one here, another early attack in transition. You see 4 bodies in the paint for Toronto. Leads to a wide open corner 3 for Gordon. Had a lot of these situations yesterday where guys didn't reward Russ with assists. Gordon takes the 2 for $1 corner 3 there. Rejecting the pick and roll there again. You just see how much space they have in Houston on the floor playing again this spread pick and roll. Here we see again Harden in the corner. People say he can't play without the ball. Well, he can. He's just defenses play him so tight. They don't want him getting the ball back. So you know what? Again, if they're going to deny Harden, the other four guys have to play 4-on-4. And with a guy like Russ, he almost always can force secondary defenders to have to come in to stop him, which leads here to a wide open three for Tucker. We talked about Russ in the post. They will throw it to him down there occasionally too. That's another area, again, where just a little variance to the game. Chris Paul could play a little bit in the post too. They didn't do a ton of it with him. But Russ obviously has had a lot of post game, a lot of success down there in his career. You see Ibaka come over to try to help on him, which opens up the dump off to Chandler, where Russ reads it really well. Thanks for watching the early look at Russ in Houston. Impressed with what I saw. A little bit of skepticism. Houston not making a whole lot of changes, but I do think ultimately it'll work. I think Russ will shoot the three at a decent enough clip. I think they're going to make him be a little bit more efficient statistically. And you know what? I think he's just going to give them that extra punch. A lot of assists, a lot of fast break points, a lot of tenacity, a lot of rebounding. Play the way he plays. Should work out well for Houston. Make sure you thumb up, subscribe, leave a comment. Really appreciate you guys watching, and talk to you soon.